tasks for today. We're going to be working in ReadyMaker, of course. And we're going to start a new game that will be our second level. Our last level that we finished up last week was level 1. This will be level 2. We're going to do a lot of the same things we did a couple of weeks ago, where we add just, our main character, add some platforms. We're going to do physics, do the controls with the behavior pad, control pad behavior, and the jump behavior. We're going to do the classes for the platforms, but in this level we're going to have some enemies, so it's going to be pretty fun. So we have write an event for that, and there'll be 2 screenshots at the end, and let me know if you have any questions. So with that, let's hop on over to ReadyMaker. If you enjoyed today's video, you can like and subscribe down below. Okay, so we have our level from last week. I'll just show you really quick what we worked on. Our little recap. We put in our object here, we gave it an effect, and we turn this effect on when our character here gets over and touches this by writing this event, where Cupcake Carl is collided with an object where you can do touching. The cherries effect is set active. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that. We won't be needing that right now. So today we're going to start a new game, but it's just going to be called level 2. So to do that, you're going to click on that little green circle up there with the white plus sign in the corner. Go ahead and do the same orientation you did last time. So I'm going to do landscape. All right, and then let's go ahead and put in our character. Add Cupcake Carl. I'm going to keep it the same. You can have it transform. Do whatever you like. You wrote your stories last week. You can update those in a few weeks too if you decide to change it. So I have Carl here. Just like before, I'm going to go ahead and work on the physics here. So we're going to turn the physics on. Mass is 1, drag will be 10-ish. 11's good. Angular drag about 13. We're going to lock the rotation, and gravity will be on. After that, you can test it out with the arrow up in the left. Yep, we have gravity. So let's go ahead and put in a platform. I'm going to X out of this. If you search anything up here, to get back to all of the objects up here in the search bar, you just click that X. Let's see, I found some clouds in here last week that I kind of like. That were fun. I'll do these fake clouds. I'll just bring in one for now. All right, let's see if this is working. There we go. So we have a platform in here now for our little character to stand on. I'm gonna go ahead and make this polygon, just otherwise it'll be like a rectangle and I won't be able to walk on the different little humps on the cloud. So, and then we can just go through here and just check this. You can make this bigger or smaller, solid on. This is one thing we haven't talked about. You can do the opacity. So you can make these kind of like see-through or not see-through. I'm gonna make the collider a polygon. I'm just gonna do a few of them. Collider active on, okay. And then we wanna put these platforms in a class just like before. So we're gonna do classes with that platform selected, create new class, platforms, save class. And then if you haven't already, let's go ahead and put a background in here, and then we'll add more platforms. Backgrounds. Do one that looks kind of like a sky. It could be fun. See if Carl shows up in there. So one thing, it's a little bit very blue, and Carl is blue too. It's a little hard to see. One way that you can kind of, let's see if I can make this kind of the way that I would like to, is you can put a color background on top of a background image and it will tint it. Let's see if we can come up with something that looks kind of fun. all really dark. I'm gonna go ahead and just start over with this. To start over your background, I'm gonna go ahead and reset it. I need to find a lighter color. Maybe this brush stroke will be good. There we go, that's not bad. All right, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this cloud. So there's two things you can do. You can either duplicate, or I can bring in another cloud. Artwork, there it is. And then I just need to make sure that I put this cloud also in the platforms class. So let's take a few minutes and build out our games. Okay, so we need to go ahead and make Carl here be able to move, because right now he doesn't go anywhere. So like we did before in level 1, we are going to select our character, go into behavior, we're going to add a behavior, X out of that. We're going to do control pad. We're going to make the speed about 3-ish. Instead of all directions, we're going to do left and right. We're going to turn physics on. You can change the controls if you like. Let's see, I'll leave that white. You can change the color of your joystick. And let's go ahead and test it. Here we go. You can go left and right. Wow, we also need to be able to make this character jump. So we're going to go back into behavior. We're going to add a behavior, and then we're going to add the jump behavior. Drag it over here. Let's change this height to 100%. I'm going to change this to W. You can make it whatever control you'd like. That's an option on here. I'm going to keep that white button active on. All right, let's try this out. Nice. Ooh, might need to make these jump a little bit. Lower that percentage a little bit, but that's good for now. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this level a little bit more difficult. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna select an enemy. We're gonna put him in somewhere on the screen, and then we're gonna make it so that after a certain amount of time, that enemy is gonna follow your character, and we'll make it so that if the enemy touches your character, it ends the game. So first we need a character to put in there. So I need to find a good enemy. It's a good enemy of a cupcake. That's the question. So. Ah, here we go. A mouth. He doesn't want to be eaten. So go ahead and take a minute and find something. It can be just something that'll chase your character. You can put it anywhere for now. We'll move it later. Let's see if there's some better. Ooh. I think I like this one better. So I'm going to delete this one. So we're going to give this thing, whatever's going to chase your your little hero here. We're going to give it a behavior. We're going to add a behavior. And it is going to be, where is it? Should be a move towards. I'm missing it somewhere. Jump through, move towards. Here it is. The two little people running into each other there. So we don't need to change anything on here, but we do need to make an event to make this move. Right now, we should be able to test our game and move character left, right, and you should be able to jump. Oh, I just pushed that thing right off there. So there's something else we haven't talked about that we can do, if you like, is make boundaries around our game. The way you do that so you don't float off the sides is you go into basic shapes. Just get a bordered rectangle here. And it just needs to be long enough to go around the sides. It doesn't have to look pretty. It's going to be off the screen where you can't see it. Let me move it where I can see it while I'm changing the size. So the easiest way to do this, instead of doing it this way, is to use the appearance. So that way you can just change the height and not the width. So let's make this 8. 8 works. And all you do is you just use this to make a border. And instead of trying to turn it this way, which you can, but it's really easy to go in appearance and in this dimensions tab, go to this third tab and just make that 90 degrees perfectly straight for you. Does all the hard work. It's so nice. Just make like a little frame. One thing you do want to check though and test is if you have it too far up, you can see it on the bottom here. You can see my frame. Actually, you can see a lot of them. So then I'm just going to move these. Oh, these lines happen when you double click. You double click, they go away. There we go. All right, so now there's a frame. All right, let's go ahead and write this event so that this character or whatever object you chose will follow our little hero here. So I'm gonna call this event, where it says event number 1, I'm gonna call it follow, just so we can kind of keep track of our different events that we're working on here. So the first block is gonna be system. It'll be down at the bottom. Runtime. And we're gonna do ran longer than. So this is what this is doing is we're gonna say after a game is started, after a certain amount of time, this object is gonna chase our character. So I'm gonna do 5. I think it's 5 seconds. Hit confirm. So when our game has ran longer than 5 seconds, the mouth is going to move towards, and we're going to set a target object, and that will be your main character. So it looks something like this. System runtime ran longer than, you're going to pick a number. If you want to test it, if you want to make it longer later, it's easier to test it with a shorter number than just change this later. So then after the system's been running longer than 5 seconds, the mouth is going to move towards Cupcake Carl. So let's see if it works. Let's go ahead and X out of that and let's test it out. So, okay, Carl's going about his business. Oh, and there it is. It's coming after me. All right, but now something needs to happen when it touches your character. So we need to write another event for that. And that event, we're gonna add a new event, which we haven't done yet. It's just that green button below your event that you just wrote. You're gonna click on that. This will be called restart. So we're gonna restart the game if the enemy hits Cupcake Carl. So we're gonna say, because you can have multiple enemies, so we're gonna say, actually, forgot a step. We're gonna go ahead and make an enemy class for this. So let's go ahead and select our little object here, go to classes, create new class. We have platforms, so now we're gonna have enemies. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it bad guys, you can call it whatever. And now if I have a bunch of these, or more than one, you could, or different objects. If I have like mouths and I have like, what else is bad for a cupcake? A knife maybe? Butter knife? If I put this in the enemies object too, or enemies class, I'm getting things all mixed up now, then all these things will follow Cupcake Carl at the same time because it's all in a class. So let's write our event, and I'll just put that knife in there just to show you how this works. So the restart, we're gonna go ahead and choose enemies class, sensing, and you can do it collided with or is touching. Collided with Cupcake Carl. And the do is we're gonna restart. So it's in the system. System, restart scene. So it'll make the game start over. So we have all class and enemies, sensing, collided with object. And for me, it's Cupcake Carl. That's your one line. And do will be system, restart scene. So let's go ahead and see if this works. This might be a little too challenging. I'm not very good at video games. Oh, see, I can't even get past that first mouth. I can't do it. Let's see if they come after me. Yep, there they go. The knife did not follow. And you know why? I know why. I didn't give it the behavior. So it has to move towards behavior. It's in enemies. I don't know. It should be following. Let's check it out again. I'll have to figure out that knife. I think something might be hitting it or something, but that's it for today. So we're gonna call this level 2. So let's go ahead and save this. You can edit the cover if you want. And hit save, and for the name, we're gonna call it level 2. We're gonna write an event later that's gonna connect these so that if you win level 1, you'll go to level 2 next. So you're gonna go ahead and hit save. It's really important to save. If you don't save it, you'll lose all of your work. So yeah, screenshots for today. You're gonna click on Carl, click on behavior, just see that there's jump control pad, and then we'll be able to see kind of what's going on in your scene. I will be able to tell if it looks exactly the same as your level 1. It's really important that you have 2 levels and not just 1 level for this. So, and then the other thing is your events. Go ahead and take a picture of these. And that's it. For some reason, mine's having like a connection here. So I'll go ahead and go on over to the slides. And here's the screenshots if you need that again. And then this will actually be the follow event and that other event for the restart of the game. 1 screenshot. So it'll be one place to upload that picture, and then another place in the classroom to upload this picture that will be just kind of like the background and these behaviors with the control pad and the jump behavior. And that's it for today. I'll see you next week.